Kaitlyn Vahling, I'll be a junior at Stop High School. I do track. I'm in the 100, 200, and 400.
Dean Vahling, this was my first year as the high school girls track coach.
What brings you so much joy in being the coach?
I'd say getting to know the athletes and watching them improve as the season comes along. And the meets, like not knowing how they'll end up, like how we'll place, and watch what the athletes will end up also.
What are your biggest challenges as a coach?
I'd say this year our hurdlers, they'd always complain about the hurdles being too high, but I thought, why should I worry about that? Because they'll get over it. Get it? I'm seriously, I'd say coming up with a practice schedule for every day. Like I was almost looking forward to meets, that way I didn't have to come up with a practice schedule. And
Kaitlyn, competing in track, what's your favorite thing about the sport?
Probably trying to improve myself and get my best times and competing against other people, and then also like the feeling after you're done running, knowing that you did good.
And at what point did you realize that you could be a solid runner?
I'd say about the middle of the season in 7th grade. I remember the first practice ever. I hated it so much. I didn't want to do it. I didn't think I was good, but once the middle of the season came, I liked it and thought I could be good.
While competing at state, what does it mean competing and representing T-Town?
It means a lot to represent T-Town because I know I have a lot of support from the community, and hopefully I can reach my full potential. I've had a lot of good relationships in track. Every single person I've competed against has always been super nice and super friendly, and we always push each other to do our best.
Dean, what's it like coaching Kaitlyn as your daughter, but also as an athlete?
I'd say it'd be a little bittersweet, actually. I know at practice sometimes she would give me an attitude that I know that if somebody else was a coach, that she would not give that same attitude to. So, and I guess a good thing is I'm able to be with her day in, day out through the practices and through the meets, watching her perform through.
What's it like having your dad as a coach, but also as a father figure?
Overall, it's a good thing because he was there to support me, and he was already going to be there at all my meets. So instead of coaching from the sideline, he was the main coach, so that was good. But the only bad thing is that he had a lot of questions, and sometimes it was hard to take him seriously, and sometimes we would butt heads. My toughest challenge is definitely myself, getting in my head and getting super nervous before the races, and also not having enough confidence in myself.
Kaitlyn, is there anything different that Dad works with you than other athletes?
We definitely work on block starts a lot more because the start is very important, and 0.2 of a second makes a huge difference, and the start can be that difference.
Any funny stories that you two have had so far?
I always thought it was important before our meets that we stop by McDonald's because I felt it was important that our athletes get fast food.
And the 4x4 relay, they did cartwheels in the middle of the race, and that was funny.
I didn't actually think they'd go through that though, so I was shocked when they actually did that. So.
Dean, with Kaitlyn and her talent, what does it look like coming up for talent?
This year we had a couple girls that came really close to making it to state, and we had a few injuries, and we got some talent coming up. So I think if we get some long distance runners in on the team, we could have a really good track team in the future. I would also like to thank Tyler for everything he does to this community as far as covering all the area athletes and all the area sports and getting athletes recognized. And for those of you that don't know, Tyler is my nephew.
Ditto, except he's not my nephew.
I'd like to thank Cassie, the boys track coach. She did a lot of the background work that wasn't recognized, and I'd like to thank her for that. Rachel, she was our assistant. She made it to the practices that I couldn't make it to, so I'd like to thank her for being there when I couldn't make it. And then Carly was helping our high jumpers, and she made huge improvements with our girls as far as when the start of the season to the end of the season. So I'd like to thank all those girls.
And I'd like to thank my dad for being the coach, and my family and teammates for always supporting me.